I think 3, 2, 1. It just went live, and I'm so excited. So
and I think our conversation about being a reverend is kind of part of our life. And if you heard it, that's wonderful. If not, we were planning to do
better than that.
Yeah,
we were misfitting misfits.
Yeah, we are planning to create totally irreverent Being You class one day on, what did you say? Being Jew changing the world?
Be Jew? Yeah, I was just laughing. How much fun could it be? Being Jew, lighting up the world. I was thinking during Hanukkah, because the Hanukkah celebration where we add light to the world, we dispel darkness by adding light, not by fighting that or anything. Well, maybe there was fighting involved actually there, but it's more about adding our light and adding miracles and possibilities to the world, which is everything that we speak about in Access Consciousness. So welcome to another conversation on being. My name is Rachelsilber, and I'm here with the lovely, actually that side.
That side.
Your image thing is really strange. So with my beautiful friend, DrHelenGitlevich, and hello world. And today we don't have a guest appearance, so we decided we're going to have some fun with you guys. And
no, we cannot have fun. We can't have during holidays. It's not allowed.
We got to get serious.
No, that might be why we have no guest. Because we're supposed to be.
Chantal is calling us hermosas. I'm excited. Thank you, Chantal. That means beautiful. Yeah. How does it get even better?
Because guests coming to a serious event, holidays. So when we are planning to be totally reverent, totally happy, totally joyful, guess what? Guests might not be coming.
Oh, but I was wondering, I actually decorated. Now, Hanukkah is not necessarily something that you decorate for. Christmas is typically something that you decorate for. And I remember I had an aunt, my uncle was married to someone who wasn't Jewish, and she had a Christmas tree up, a huge Christmas tree up in her house. And she had this like winding staircase around the tree and the tree there. And I remember she took us out to, and this was new for us. Remember, I grew up in Israel, never seen a Christmas tree in my life. And then we come to Texas. Everything's big in Texas, right? And we got this big ass tree that we went with her to help pick it out. And we were just like, whoa, this is so amazing. All these lights and all these trinkets and all this stuff. And usually on Hanukkah, we would just have our menorahs up. It's pretty simple. Nobody really decorates. But I guess I got inspired by my aunt. Oh, and anybody who's in Houston, I'm going to give a total plug. There is this awesome place on Carew Street in Houston, Texas. You can see it on Instagram. It's called @Hanukkah House. Something like that. So just search for it. You can see it's beautiful, and it's all lit up blue and white. And there's it's in a Christmas tradition, I suppose, but it's just a huge display of blue and white and colors and music going, Hanukkah music. And because we sing a lot of Hanukkah songs, Hebrew, English, but whatever we do, they're always accompanied by a shit ton of fried food. So,
too. Especially the latkes,
the donuts,
What?
The donuts, the sufganiyot.
Oh yeah, the donuts. It's a fried donuts. It's not the regular donuts.
I think all donuts are fried, aren't they?
No. Dunkin' Donuts are baked. Krispy Kreme are fried.
Okay, that's why they're crispy. That's why there's always lineups outside of Krispy Kreme. Maybe not so much, but the police lines up there generally.
Dunkin' Donuts is a little healthier version of the donuts.
Of the donuts, that's funny. No, but I don't like any of those. I really like, the only time I really eat donuts is for Hanukkah, because it's the miracle of oil. We won't necessarily get into it now, or maybe we will, who knows. But
it's I think our conversation is more about how to stay sane.
Sane.
During the holidays.
That word? What a concept. How does it get even better than that? So what is sanity during the holidays? What is it? Wait a second. Okay, so please help me with this. Facilitate me with this one. I'm wondering, what's the big fucking deal about the holidays?
It's pretty much invention to get together and create havoc and create kind of like upset and intrigue and all of that drama and trauma during the holidays.
It's really funny. So, okay, guys, for everyone who's doing Christmas and New Year's and all that, I remember very distinctly. Okay, so we worked in the jewelry business for many, many years, and for my parents, the holidays was all about, we work, it's off to work we go for, everything, and the hours were long, and people would come in for all their last minute everything, and there was no such thing as vacation, or there was no such thing as holidays, I guess, in the sense that the rest of the world views the holidays. For us, it was work time. And then that week between Christmas and New Year's, my parents didn't believe in like vacation or relax. No, that was inventory time. So it's really interesting that you're saying it is an invention, because where is it that we've picked up on what do the holidays mean? How are they having to be celebrated? What's involved? And what would be different if we were willing to lose all the definitions of what are the holidays and choose what actually works for us?
Yeah, and actually, what if we didn't have any holidays? What if we
what if every day was a holiday?
Or every day would be a holiday, and we choose when to have a day off and when to go to see a family. How much of holidays are associated with obligations to see the family, obligations to invite people over, obligations to get together. How much of those definitions been playing into that idea of holidays? So let's destroy and uncreate all of that.
No, that would be terrible. So for anybody who's watching this, who's never heard of access consciousness before, and this concept of let's destroy and uncreate this. So what we're saying is whatever was up to now, let's let it go. Let's de-story it. Let's just release it. And then there's room for something else to show up. So everything that brings and you can go to www, I know I have it somewhere here, theclearingstatement.com, and you can find out about these weird words that we just said: right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. And that gives a different space. So what would it be like to not be obligated, to not be forced, to actually recognize that we have a choice? And by the way, I clicked on the wrong banner. I had meant to click on the Access Consciousness banner, but this is really an awesome tool for holidays or anything else. If you're looking down below, to get your bars run, or if you're around family members, to even run their bars. Bars are 32 points on the head that when you touch them gently, and they're just melty, amazing. All of the mental chatter, all of the stress, all of the that sometimes goes on, and where it seems like the world is almost caving in on you, that begins to dissipate and literally just release. And then you have the best way that I've been able to describe me after bar session is that I have space to be me. Like there's space in my head, like I'm back, and it's such a yummy energy. So I hadn't meant to click on that banner, but maybe it was a good thing that I did.
Yeah, because bars, especially during the holidays, is a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Literally a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Because all that, we have to get the gifts, we have to cook, we have to bring something in.
Let's go back to that have to.
Mm-hmm.
Who said we do? Where did these have tos begin?
I wonder because it doesn't look like it started now. It's probably like sometime before. And even throughout the history, we can see the patterns that people get together during Christmas, New Year, Hanukkah. And Hanukkah started, what, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Christmas started 2,000 years ago. So it's all been
And there's
ingrained.
other traditions. There's other cultures. You have Diwali. You have, all sorts of
Yeah,
get-together.
every culture has its own holidays.
Yeah. And it's so interesting. Like, where have we given ourselves up in favor of, well, my family does this? Well, what would it be like if we began to add new traditions, they don't have to be traditions, new creations, like on the fly, new, go with the flow. What would be fun now? What would be fun this year? What would be different? What can we be and do different that's actually going to have more joy, more ease, more of a contribution for ourselves and whatever the holiday energy is?
And actually now there is a new tradition starting up because of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people cannot even get together.
Yeah.
Because of social isolation. If they used to have like 30, 40, 50 people over,
Yeah.
right now in Illinois, that's not allowed.
Right.
So they
We're
started
doing candle lighting on Zoom with our family members, which is really funny. But yeah.
Yeah, so there are new traditions are forming, but yet there is still the obligation to do it on that specific day.
Well, there's certain things, where it's a regularly scheduled holiday. But the thing is, who says the holiday has to look a particular way? Like, what if someone's version of a holiday, like I've seen this, Passover typically in religious households would be everybody scrubbing, everybody cleaning, everybody changing the kitchenware and whatever else. Or there's some people who say, you know what? No, thank you. I'm going to go to a resort, and where if they're religious people, they would go somewhere where it's kosher for Passover anyway, and they would enjoy a new version of tradition, not you have to sit at my house and we're doing it this way and everything's going to be ordered and structured just like this. So what if we just begin to explore, just to permit ourselves that little tiny like sliver of wondering, like what would it be like to do it different? What if we, instead of doing the whole roast, whatever we do for some people Christmas, some people something else. What if we did a barbecue instead? What if we did a, whatever, pizza party? Yeah. Anything. It's just a different experience with the holidays.
It's interesting saying it because even on Thanksgiving a few years, because I don't like turkey. And for a few years, I've been vegetarian. So there was a couple of Thanksgiving in the past where I had people over and we just had salmon or like some other stuff on the table.
Yeah.
And there was, I think.
You didn't chase the turkey?
No, there was no turkey. No carving involved.
Yeah. No, I remember very clearly at my aunt's house, same aunt with a Christmas tree beforehand. And we did, again, in Israel, there was no Thanksgiving. I mean, we don't have Thanksgiving as a holiday there. That happened once we moved to the United States. And it's so cool. Well, actually, first Thanksgiving was a car accident. Like, we had no idea what Thanksgiving was about or that there were drunk drivers on the road or anything like that. My older brother got his, worked for months to buy a car from someone. So he had this cool little sports car that he really, really liked. Of course, used car, teenager, he really enjoyed himself, and smacked to smithereens, totaled, like squished in half on Thanksgiving. So there was this association of, Thanksgiving drunk drivers, they barely made it out alive, but they did. And yay, we're thankful. But then the same aunt with the Christmas tree, being traditional Texan, etc., she would invite us to her place for turkey. and turkey carving and all that stuff. And most of us are, vegetarians or don't much care for turkey. Some, yes, but I distinctly remember they pride and joy this huge, beautiful turkey that's there, that's roasted, and someone came with a carving tools and the entire turkey fell on the floor. That was a really interesting Thanksgiving. But see, what if we just go with the flow? What if it's no big deal? Okay, dog's going to be happier now. Or I can't remember what they did. Tried to figure out how to wipe it around. I don't know. But it was just funny. It's like the total weirdness of it doesn't have to be what we always said that it has. Like, it doesn't only have to look that one particular way.
No, it doesn't. And what if that's the sanity? What if it is what creates that joy and happiness during the holidays? Just getting together with no pressure of like that structure and the form and all of that. So what if we actually start looking at the holidays actually holiday, like holiday, which is like where it started.
Yeah.
With a religious holiday, but it's more like thinking about it more like a whole day.
Yeah, a whole day. I like it.
Yeah.
And no parts of you have to be cut off to be able to be whole in the holiday. It's embracing everything. It's allowing everything. It's really being
embracing everyone. Embracing, because there is always in the family like somebody we don't like, somebody we like, somebody we want to be with, somebody we don't want to be. So what if we don't have to cut them off or cut parts of us with them because they might not like certain parts of us, so we have to behave in a certain way. We have to act in a certain way, so we contract. So what if we don't?
Or we get quiet, but what if we don't? I've been running a fun clearing today for me because I've often been told that I'm quote unquote too much and that I talk too much and that I this and that I that and whatever. So that's okay. So I've been running what energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracle, possibility can I be to be the motor mouth of possibilities I truly be.
Anything doesn't allow that, let's destroy and uncreate that.
Yes, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine.
All nine short voice and beyond. And what if we actually be during the holidays?
What a concept.
What if we expand instead of contract? Because remember, like Dana's saying, increase intensity of being when you're in with the judgment. Because during holidays, judgment goes rampant. It's
really much. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, no, never.
Whizzing past you as the judgments come flying past.
Yeah, how you dress, how you act, what you say, how you say it, blah 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 blah, all of that. So what if we expand and increase the intensity?
Holiday. We like that.
Holiday. Yeah, exactly. So let's shift all of that and let's expand. Let's drop our barriers. Think of your family. Think of your friends. Okay, I can feel the contraction going in, like
feel everything coming up. All right, so everything that is, let it go and let it down.
Okay. Yeah, let's start over. Aww. Think of your friends.
Thank you.
Think of your family.
Thank you, Chantal. All of us. Anytime any of us have to do with families, we're going to remember Chantal being you.
Okay, so think of your friends and your family again. And everything that is, let's destroy and uncreate that.
Yeah, right. I'm going to put this tool here because this, for me, is my favorite tool in access consciousness besides the mantra, which is all life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. But this one, where everything is the opposite, all those barriers that come up, all of those judgments, well, what if they're opposite of what we think they are? What if the thing that we think is the most horrible about the situation, or about, oh my God, I'm going to have to deal with so-and-so, or, here's Helen bringing up family, and then, but what's the gift in it? What's the gift? Your expanding allowance. What is in there that we haven't necessarily seen? So what if everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be?
I love what you said, allowance. How much are we not willing to be in allowance of everybody, including ourselves?
Oh yeah. And Annie sang a really good song about that. Allowance, allowance, I love you, allowance, you're just a choice away.
I love that.
I won't stop my day job, but that's my
And what if that's the key to the holidays?
Yeah.
What if it is what makes the whole world spin around much easier?
I like that you said spin around. I go visual, right? Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes not so good. It just depends. But you said spin around. Well, when something's spinning around, there's no rigidity. There's no fixation in one position, one way of seeing things, which is where I love the everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite, because it actually takes something and turns it. You can see it from a different perspective. If you hold on to that one position, that's the only way that you can see something. But if you're willing to allow things to turn, to shift, to move, you're willing to allow that movement, then,
and there is no polarity there. No polarity, because polarity, it has to be stuck in one position, plus and minus, positive, negative. Where when it turns, it's round.
Yeah.
There is no points. It's the earth. And then we are kind of like one with the earth that spins around and moves around the sun. Everything is circular.
And that has no point of view either. If you look out in nature, there's no point of view. Somebody lives, somebody dies. It's just another everyday out in nature.
I just realized, because in nature, there is no points. Everything is round. Cells are round, planets are round, molecules are round, atoms are round.
Jagged cliff edges could be a little on the pointy side, but they do wear down. They become rounded off
because, again, when they're pointed, when they're pointed, it's something that was done to them.
Valid point. Oh, point.
It's not how valid point. Exactly. We are looking everything at the points. So how many points of view do we have? How many points of reference do we have that keeps us stuck in that not moving around, not circling?
Yeah. And not in the flow, not in the fluidity of where something else could show up.
There's a fairy tale. There's a fairy tale about gingerbread man. I think, I'm not sure, American version versus Russian version, but in Russian, there is a gingerbread that's round. And it kind of like goes and goes. Yeah, it's round. Kolobok, meaning that's a circular gingerbread. And it kind of like, I run away from the grandma, I run away from the grandpa, I run away from the wolf, I run away from everything, because he's round. He can actually roll.
I keep rolling. rolling.
Eventually he gets eaten, but that's kind of like he gets tricked.
That doesn't taste good.
Yeah. And what if we be kind of like something that doesn't have to have edges, and doesn't have to have points of view? Soft.
Fluid, relaxed.
And melting everything around us. So what if we just expand?
Oh, yeah, we were expanding before I distracted us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wonder how much we are unwilling to expand, how much we like that contraction of points of view and polarity.
Well, how much of that is familiar? And there's that.
Familiar, it's entertaining. Because I found out recently that like there were a few days where there was no trauma and drama, and I was like, what do I do? Instead of again asking what can I be and do, I ask, it's like, what is that? And and then started creating something that's not quite, again, creating the points. Yeah. So what if we didn't have to create the points, the sharp points, the anything that's not contribution to us? Or
Yeah,
what if we can actually receive from the points?
yeah. Or you're saying points, and I remember being told or hearing about having a sharp tongue. I'm not sure that was necessarily directed to me, but
Oh,
sharp tongue is,
that's been directed to me number of times.
and
They,
that's
they
all.
actually they actually ask, can they cut my tongue?
Oh, and that's sweet. So
Yeah.
I got one for them. This is where allowance comes in. You got to see where people are functioning from. And generally, most people I find are not oh, I mean there's of course there's assholes everywhere. But most people just choose what they can choose because they don't necessarily see that there's another possibility available. But if we begin to have that mythical, phenomenal allowance we were
Magical,
speaking about,
magical.
magical, mystical. Wow, allowance. And what is allowance? Because this is
Yeah,
really like high up on
yeah.
everything for
'Cause
the
a
holidays.
lot of people confuse that with acceptance,
Yeah,
which is
and being a
totally not.
doormat.
And a doormat, no. Because acceptance is like, yeah, they're abusing me, they're judging me, they're okay. I will be a good girl, I will be a good boy, I will kind of like take it in, and that will, maybe I need to learn something from that.
Yeah, great.
No, no.
You're gonna be less on because you're gonna be so upset at everybody and everything else. We have a new neighbor. New
Yeah,
neighbor has a dog. Dog's very excited.
they
I'm looking.
talk with each other. They have to talk with each other.
Yes, they like to talk. They're like, okay, if you have allowance for this, you can receive this also. And that's one of the things actually. Thank you, Annabeth, for bringing this up.
Yeah.
Annabeth being the dog. It's fascinating because the more allowance, I remember. And so I live in a rather noisy area, not that far from an airport. And periodically, you hear the helicopters going past, or, doggy
Mhm.
starts to bark, or somebody else's doggy starts to bark. And since we're over a ravine, everything echoes, echoes, echoes. And so I would get so upset that every time I would begin a recording, suddenly everybody would start to bark, mow the lawn, fly by, whatever. And then at some point, I began to tune the majority of it out and just be an allowance of it and an allowance of me, and receive the contribution of whatever it is. And it is amazing when we are willing to even receive, the barks. They lessen. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but whenever we get like, oh my God, I'm in a hurry, I gotta get there really quickly, everything slows down around you as if you're in like goop, slow
Because
motion, everything, because you have this point of view of, oh my God, this has to be perfect, or I've got to hurry, or whatever's going on, versus if you're like, okay, what would it take to get there with ease? And just let it go. And whenever you get there, you get there. And really just relax more, things just
And it's
magically
funny when
unfold.
you say that, because whatever, like, it's a resistance that stops us. So we are moving against resistance. That goo that you were talking about, that's a resistance.
That's a
Because
good way of putting it. Mm,
because we are pushing and the universe push against us.
yeah.
When we are just space, when they're melting everything melts in front of us. And the funniest, I joke, like, ever since I became maestra, I'm like, maestra is never late. Actually, it goes back to the movie, um, you know, Money Pit.
I
Remember that?
still haven't seen that.
Oh my God.
You
And he,
recommended it. We have it. I just haven't seen it yet. I would love to see it.
yeah. So he walks in there late and he's like, maestra is never late.
Ah, okay.
They've
Good
been
to know.
waiting. Yeah, they were waiting for him for like an hour and a half. I don't remember how long. But he walks in. It's like, you're late. Maestra is never late. Because he's in total allowance of people judging him. He's like a perfect example of, he's arrogant and he's an asshole and all of that, but he is maestra.
That's really cool. Sometimes being an asshole can be fun too. I get that. And I'm totally willing to go there whenever, being a bitch is a capacity. But it's really interesting how much we try to be so accepted by everyone and so fit in whatever their standards, or not rock the boat too much. Don't make waves. That we're so trying to function within set rules, you could say,
Mhm.
or expectations, that we're not actually looking at, well, what do I know that's available beyond this? What would be possible if I were willing to choose beyond whatever this is? How much more
Mhm.
fun uh, really would we have when we don't care so much about pleasing everybody else?
Yeah.
Wow.
And what's interesting, when we stop pleasing, we actually create something different.
Hmm.
Because I notice when I stop pleasing people, I actually become happier.
And interestingly, when you're happier, other people get happier around you
Yeah.
too, because they're more relaxed in your space.
Mhm.
In just when you're being you, things just seem to work out.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because it isn't, when we're not calculating, we're not calibrating, we're not trying to get everything to fall into place exactly just right. There's
Mhm.
that fluidity, the no sharp edges that you
Yeah.
were saying. And it's really cool because everything just moves so much more readily and easily
Mhm.
when there's that smoothness in life, the
Yeah.
smoothness of relaxation.
Exactly. Because when we're stressed, again, the universe stresses us even more.
Yeah.
When we are relaxed, everything is easy. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory.
I have that one too because I
Yes,
love
yes.
that. That's the mantra. All of life comes to us with ease and joy and glory. I just don't know where I put it. I can't believe. Did I make it go
And
bye bye?
it doesn't matter if it's like, because people think all of
Oh,
life
here we
comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. It's about kind of like a smooth sail. No, it's about, no,
go. Sorry.
it's about riding the waves, but
Surfing.
surfing, or being in that, um, okay, I'm blanking.
Sorry, I'm
The
distracted.
boat that has sails.
Sailboat.
Thank you.
You made it easy. The boat
I
in
was
the
thinking more
sea.
of catamaran. I was thinking more of catamaran, but
They both
but
sailboat.
sailboat will work.
See, when you're willing to go through life with ease, you never know what shows up, including sailboat. Why complicate life? It's really so much easier.
And being willing not to remember stuff. CRS works too.
Yeah, CRS, for those of you who haven't heard it before, is called Can't Remember Shit. And it works really, really well when people expect you to, remember every single detail, and you could just say, oh, I'm so sorry, I've been diagnosed with CRS recently, or whatever the case is.
I had not known about that diagnosis a few years ago when I didn't recognize a cousin of my ex-husband, but that would have been a nice diagnosis to use.
Use whatever points of view that people have in this reality to your advantage to make it easier. It'll certainly make the holidays a heck of a lot more fun if you're willing to just play with it and be willing to. When we're willing to lose everything and everyone, and I know it sounds like a serious topic, oh my God, I'm going to lose them. But really, it's just that destroying and uncreating that you mentioned before. Yeah. When we're willing to let go of what we've thought about it, all those thoughts, those expectations, those decisions, those conclusions, those points of view of up to that moment, then a new space opens up and something else could be available. And
it's about like losing and destroying all the lies that are associated with that. And by the way, clearing statement cannot destroy what's true and real. That's what I found out.
They're very true. And the clearing statement, you can find out more about that over there. Those are the funny words: right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And when we're letting things go, everything shows up as new. Even these very same relatives that we've been thinking about as we are expanding around them might make relatives change some of those stories that they repeat over and over and over again, like at every family gathering. When you expand and you're spacey, other people become spacey too.
That might be fun. Yeah, and what can create even more is if we are space, that's where the CRS comes in. What if that space affects them and they start having CRS about something that's bad and awful and mean, and they
Actually,
change?
as you were saying, you can't destroy something that's true. Like anything that's a lie disappears, right? So when we actually expand, when we're willing to lower the barriers, all those points of view, all those thoughts, all of those walls that we've built up between ourselves and other people, there's this oozing, this expanding naturally. As soon as we lower the barriers, we can almost breathe in relief. So when we ask for those barriers to go down and we expand, there is such it got interrupted, so my thoughts just went in a different direction. But there's the disappearing of anything that's not real and true. And not only that they have CRS, but it's like anything that's not true just disappears. And so rather than seeing, Cousin Joe who may have pissed you off for ages, you'll be seeing Cousin Joe the person, rather than all those stories that you've held on to about Cousin Joe for all those years. You might surprise yourself with how cool some of those family members that you've been in resistance to for many years may be when you don't have a point of view about them. Like, how much fun could you have?
Also, some people, like, we have not even our judgment, somebody else's judgment. They would say, oh, this person is such an asshole or such a bitch. Oh, yeah. And we are looking at them through those judgments.
Yeah,
and
through those filters.
Through those filters. And it might not be even true.
Or not true for us. Like, we might think that person's generally pretty cool.
Exactly. So how much holidays can be different if we drop our judgments, expand, and not have any expectations and just be. How much would that be different?
Yeah, that would be
I
very,
wonder.
very cool.
I wonder. I'm so grateful for everybody being here with us today.
Yeah, me
And,
too. Me too. I'm
and
thrilled.
happy holidays. Yes, happy holidays. Whatever holidays you have, which culture, which country, which
I'm gonna edit that. I'm gonna edit that, and we're gonna happy whole
days.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I do want to give some plugs also.
Mhm.
There we go.
And we invite you to that irreverent being you class one day with Rachel and me. What if we did it Sunday, the 13th?
Maybe is it this Sunday?
Yep.
Oh, maybe that sounds like fun. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun. Before I even get there, just so you guys know how to contact us anyway, you can find us here. We live and are linked on trees. No, we're really not, but
And
that's
my website right now went into English and Russian mode.
so now your website is bilingual. Mine is still from a few years ago. So how does it get even better than that? But it's
Does it?
I also wanted to say on Wednesdays for the next few weeks, that was the wrong one. Let me click this. The Being You facilitators are doing the Being You book club. And the only prerequisite is that you have a copy of the Being You book. And I think we're on chapter 4, because you and I did chapter 3 last week.
Correct. Yeah.
With Margaret. And
this Thursday, it's going to be chapter 4.
Thursday. Tomorrow.
Yeah, and
it's Wednesday.
It's this book.
Being You, Changing the World is a handsome man on the cover. Why wouldn't you want to put one like
And on the back too, by the way.
There you go. You can put a front, you can put it back, you can have one on your coffee table, one in your dining room, one next to your bed, one in the bathroom. Wherever you go, you can have a Being You, Changing the World book. You can flip
and chapter 4 is about ask and you shall receive. I wonder how much that would improve the holidays.
Yeah. Oh my God. Having the space to be able to just open the space to being you and not have to be you a particular way, not have to be a certain standard or something, just be you and have fun and enjoy. It makes everything around you just go with so much more ease. So there's the Being You, Changing the World book, which you can find on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble, on, pretty much everywhere, the Access website. And then there's the beingyoubookclub.com. You guys can sign up. You receive the replays for the previous weeks and the Zoom information for the next, I don't know, it's like 12 more weeks, so 3 more months of going chapter by chapter with different Being You facilitators. So that's pretty damn cool. And I was going to say, Dr. Dane here, the co-creator of Access Consciousness and the author of that amazing book whose face is there on the front cover, he's doing a Being You class at the middle of a 3.5-day Being You class, the middle of December. I think
it's December 17th through 20th.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there are no prerequisites. Let me tell you, you come that class, you go on rocket ship, because everything's like rocket ship, and there's joy and comedy, and sometimes you just go, oh my goodness, my entire world is shifting and changing, and it's wonderful. You really melt into being more and more of you. I took my first Being You class this summer, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm wondering what this one's going to be. So has it get even better? Y'all are invited if you would like. And if you'd like a taste of Dr. Dane as well, he is doing, I think on the 13th, actually, he's doing a free call for the dreamers, Dream Big, something like that.
I actually didn't know about that. When is that?
Yeah, it's on the 13th. That's why it just clicked.
Where is the registration?
If you go to Dr. Dane here's Facebook page, you'll see it. If not, I'll find it and post it somewhere beneath video.
Yeah, and I'll share it, and we can share it here.
Exactly. We'll share it here too. It's on his Instagram account. It's on his profile on the Access Consciousness website, and probably beingyouadventure.com as well. We'll have it, or accessconsciousness.com/beingyouadventures. You'll probably find that website pointing to the Dr. Dane class. And it's such a gift to have these tools and to share these tools and to explore these tools, and to being irreverent while choosing and creating a reality that works for you. Yeah. How does it get even better than that? So I love it. I love it.
And what else is possible now?
What else is possible now? I love that. Happy holidays, y'all.
And see you Thursday. It might be two of us again.
I have no idea, but if it's the two of us, Thursday night, we begin Hanukkah. So you might get like a little bit of the, light them up kind of thing. We'll see what's going on. We're going to have some fun. So Thank you, and bye, y'all.
Bye.
Don't have too much fun, or yes.